The fifth habit that's changed my life is reading. I know that I've already mentioned learning, but I'm going to put this as a separate one because I think reading and learning are two of the most important things that you can do as a young man. Reading is literally like such a high value skill that I'd say over 90% of young men aren't doing. If you're watching this video right now and you don't currently read books, you are going to get destroyed. You are going to get dominated by another man who's reading. It's as simple as that. The woman that you want will be his. The money that you want will be his. The status that you want will be his. You choose. Stay in this lowly position of like, oh, well, reading's not that. Shut the fuck up. I get aggressive about this because when you realize the ROI of reading and then I see that people don't actually read and they choose to just watch fucking Netflix and anime and shit, and I just think to myself like, there is literally the pathway to wealth. There is literally the pathway to love. It's literally just all there in books. All you have to do is just read and then just try to implement those things that you learn and your life changes forever. And when people don't read it, it honestly pisses me off because I just think, why are you missing out on life? Reading is quite literally like a 10 out of 10 thing. I wouldn't speak like this if I didn't preach it. Get into reading. It seems a little bit boring when you first start off. It's a bit tricky because your mind is so fucked and you can barely read a few sentences before your mind starts thinking about something else. Reading is a skill. Right now, you're level 1 in this skill because in the real world, when you don't level up a skill, you actually lose experience. You need to like look yourself in the mirror and have a little bit of hatred towards yourself and say like, fuck, I can't even read. Bro, I read for like 3 sentences and my mind wanders. What a fucking disgrace. You need to have some aggression about this and literally say to yourself, what a disgrace that I can't and I will not read. What a privilege it is to read and to get the wisdom and knowledge from men who are better than us. And I choose not to read because it's not that fun, because it's a little bit hard. Slap some sense into yourself, pick out a couple of books and start reading for an hour a day, every single day for the rest of your life. It's that simple. This is literally how you become rich. Like I was going to make a separate video titled, like obnoxiously titled, The Reason Why I'm Rich and You're Broke, simply because I read. That is the one where you can say it's privilege or whatever the fuck you want to say. I read the right book at the right time and that changed my life forever. The book was The Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco. It's kind of like a new blueprint to understanding wealth and money. I read it at about age 21 when I was first starting to make money. Like, you know, I was first like working full-time jobs after I finished university. I was trying businesses. And just because I read that single book, I never fell into the trap that the majority of like 99% of people do, and they're okay making 2K a month, 3K a month. And like, you're probably thinking,
wait, 2K is a month, it's actually pretty good.
Bro, reading changes. I sound like a dickhead, and yeah, I am, okay? I am. But reading will change your life, and you don't have to take my word for it. Either you read and your life improves, or you don't, and you stay like everyone else. When I think about, I went 20-something years without reading. If I started reading when I was in high school, holy shit. And I'm not talking about reading what your fucking dumb teacher gives to you. Like, fuck that. I'm talking about reading some good books that you see recommended in our space. What's interesting is that what's popular is usually wrong. So whatever, 99% of people recommend is usually wrong. What I found personally is that the books that are recommended, widely recommended, are actually really, really good. It's really interesting. I think because people who consistently read are in like the top 5% anyway. So, the same books keep getting recommended by the people who read consistently, then it's a pretty good book. You don't have to look for like a very weird niche book that no one's recommended because, we want to be like the 1%. Like the 1% are the people who read. I hope that makes sense.